In life, there is a reality that becomes more apparent as you become older. You don't merely need others around you, you need the appropriate individuals. You have to be cautious about who you let in, even if they are relatives. People that sap your energy, control you, or violate your boundaries are not worth spending your golden years with. At this point, your mental health, well-being, and happiness should be your primary objectives. And it means making difficult decisions about who stays in your life. So let's go over the 5 persons you should avoid in your older years, even if it means separating yourself from family. As we become older, we realize that not every relationship is meant to last. Some people come into our lives and leave us feeling depleted, fatigued, and unfulfilled. These are the energy vampires, the folks who appear to live on draining your emotional, mental, and physical energy while providing nothing important in return. Initially, it may not be obvious. They may come across as well-intentioned, even kind or caring. A deeper inspection, however, will reveal a pattern. Energy vampires are frequently the people who can't stop talking about their own problems while showing little or no genuine interest in yours. They have a way of drawing you into their bad spiral, feeding off your concern, attention, and in some cases, sympathy. Over time, you become burdened down by their continual demands, complaints, and need for approval. They're never satisfied with what they have or where they are, so they always come to you as an emotional outlet, leaving you feeling emotionally empty, like a wrung-out sponge. The difficulty with these people is that they never appear to be content. No matter how much you give, how much time, patience, and energy you devote to them, it is never enough. They will continue to want more while providing very little in return. They frequently fail to accept responsibility for their own life, instead putting the load onto you, asking you to bear the weight of their unhappiness. And this may be extremely taxing, especially as you age. Your energy becomes a valuable resource that you cannot afford to waste on people who constantly deplete it, while giving nothing meaningful to your well-being. The worst aspect is that energy vampires frequently fail to realize or respect your demands. When you try to communicate how their behavior affects you, they either dismiss it or blame themselves. They make you feel bad for seeking space or wanting to establish limits. Their life are a never-ending loop of crises, and they expect you to be the one to solve it, leaving you to bear the weight of their unresolved concerns. This relationship frequently generates feelings of irritation, contempt, and helplessness, because no matter what you do, their demands will never cease. At some point, you have to acknowledge the impact these people are having on your life. You may feel obligated to assist them in resolving their issues, but it is critical to recognize that you cannot pour from an empty cup. You need to conserve your energy for your own health, happiness, and peace of mind. As you get older, you realize how important it is to conserve energy and manage your time, because you understand that they are 2 of your most valuable resources. You can no longer afford to let people take advantage of you without providing anything of value in return. Getting rid of energy vampires isn't always easy, especially if they're family or close friends. However, it is a vital step if you want to live a happy and fulfilling life in your golden years. You deserve relationships that uplift you, bring joy and optimism into your life, rather than those that drain you. It is acceptable to distance yourself from those who only take from you and never give back. It's not selfish. It's self-care. You have earned the right to maintain your tranquility and well-being. As you get older, you realize that the quality of your relationships is far more important than quantity. And no romance should ever disrupt your peace. As you progress through life, especially in your older years, you start to see individuals for who they truly are. Manipulators are one group that you should be especially aware about. These people are adept at manipulating situations to their advantage, and they employ subtle strategies to manipulate your emotions, thoughts, and behaviors to further their own goals. They do not always express their desires explicitly. Instead, they exploit the situation using guilt, shame, and sometimes even love to obtain what they want from you. In your latter years, when your energy, time, and emotional resources are more restricted, these individuals can be very hazardous. Manipulators frequently thrive on providing the idea of benevolence, seeming as if they have your best interests at heart, while in reality, they are only aiming to exploit your vulnerabilities. They may come across as exceedingly loving or thoughtful, offering assistance when you least expect it, or demonstrating an overwhelming interest in your well-being. However, this is only a ploy to earn your trust and relax your guard. Once they've created that level of intimacy, they start pushing their own needs, desires, and wishes on you without regard for yours. They will frequently give you just enough to keep you attached before removing it when you need it the most, resulting in an emotional dependency that you may be unaware of. One of the most pernicious characteristics of manipulators is their ability to make you feel responsible for their happiness or well-being. They will say things like, "If you really love me, you would," or "I thought you cared about me, but if you did, you'd help me with this." They make you feel bad for not meeting their requirements, even if they are unrealistic, or you are just unable to supply what they are asking for. This guilt-tripping behavior is intended to erode your boundaries, allowing them to manipulate you into doing things that are detrimental to your best interests, all while making you believe you are to blame for not complying with their requests. The manipulator's script frequently includes deflection, gaslighting, and misdirection. When you confront them or call them out on their behavior, they will turn the tables on you, making you believe you're exaggerating or dreaming things. They'll use your own words against you, altering the story so that you appear to be the one who is incorrect. This type of manipulation can make you doubt yourself, unsure of your own ideas, emotions, and behaviors, making it difficult to trust your intuition. Over time, this type of mental and emotional toll can have a significant impact on your self-esteem and confidence. Manipulators are also likely to be opportunistic. They will instantly detect any weakness or vulnerability in you and use it to their advantage. They will take whatever they can from you, whether it is financial, emotional, or physical assistance, and never offer anything in return. In their views, you exist to serve them, meet their wants, and satisfy their desires. Then they won't hesitate to take advantage of your kindness, loyalty, or generosity, but they rarely reciprocate. You may find yourself continually giving, but never receiving. And if you express any displeasure or dissatisfaction. They may react as if you are irrational or ungrateful. The emotional and psychological cost of dealing with manipulators becomes much more destructive as you get older, thanks to your expertise and experience. You may recognize these behaviors more quickly, but the emotional toll can still be significant. Manipulators understand how to exploit your vulnerabilities, phobias, and sense of obligation, and they will use any instrument at their disposal to keep you in a position where they have power. They'll isolate you from others, instilling doubt in your connections and making you believe they're the only ones who actually understand or care about you. To defend yourself from manipulators, learn to define and maintain clear boundaries. Recognizing the indications of manipulation early on is essential for preventing it from taking root in your life. Trust your intuition and remember that a healthy relationship must be mutual. If someone is regularly taking from you, emptying your emotional resources, or making you feel like you're always to blame, it's time to take a step back and reconsider the connection. You do not owe someone your time, energy, or peace of mind if they are using you to meet their own selfish wants. As you progress through life, you learn to understand the genuine value of peace, contentment, and self-worth. In your senior years, these ideals become more valuable than ever, and you begin to recognize the people who either lift or break you down. Chronic critics should be avoided, especially as you become older. These people, whether relatives or friends, are always quick to point out your flaws, failures, and failings, often in an unwarranted and nasty manner. Their continual criticism stems from a lack of concern or caring. Rather, it arises from their own fears, disappointments, and desire to influence how you perceive yourself. The chronic critic will constantly find something wrong, no matter how minor or inconsequential it is. They appear to have a sharp eye for every flaw and a voice that refuses to stop voicing their opinion. They will never pass up the opportunity to criticize your appearance, choices, relationships, or lifestyle. What begins as a mild criticism here and there quickly grows into a continual assault of negativity, eroding your confidence and self-esteem. They may appear to be merely offering you advice or comments, but their remarks are intended to make you feel inadequate, as if nothing you do is ever good enough. Chronic critics thrive on pointing out your perceived defects and mistakes, often ignoring or dismissing your positive achievements. When you disclose your accomplishments, people quickly discount or criticize them. They rarely acknowledge your achievements, except to criticize them. If you've made any progress, achieved any achievement, or taken a step ahead in your own development, they'll always find a way to pull you back down, making you wonder if it's really worth celebrating, no matter how much effort you make to improve yourself. These people will always hold up a negative mirror, reflecting only your mistakes and never acknowledge your strengths, growth, or good changes. One of the most damaging characteristics of a chronic critic is their capacity to cause you to doubt yourself. Over time, their frequent criticism can weaken your confidence, causing you to question your judgments and doubt your worth. If you've been exposed to this type of behavior for a long time, you may start internalizing their negative words and seeing yourself through their distorted lens. The critic has a way of making you feel like you're never enough, no matter how hard you work. They rarely provide constructive or helpful feedback. It's usually caused by their own discontent and projecting their unsolved issues onto you. They thrive on making others feel small because it gives them a sense of power and authority. Chronic critics frequently disguise themselves as honest or forthright. They may argue that they are merely telling you the truth or that they care too much about you to let you continue in your mistakes. However, this so-called honesty is frequently shrouded in thin violence and judgment. Whilst constructive criticism can be an effective tool for personal development, the chronic critic provides no tools or answers for improvement. Instead, they only underline what is wrong and make you feel like you failed. There is no room for growth or learning with them because their primary objective is not to help you develop. It's intended to make you feel as if you must live up to an unrealistic standard that only they can determine. Their comments are frequently unrelenting and repetitious. If they dislike something about you, they will bring it up repeatedly, wearing you down with their continuous criticism. You may begin to feel as if you're walking on eggshells, wondering when the next critical remark will arrive and how it will damage your sense of identity. This type of energy is taxing, especially as you get older, and should be focusing on the tranquility that comes with wisdom and experience. The persistent critic traps you in a cycle of self-doubt and negativity, making it difficult to focus on what really matters and brings you joy. In the face of constant criticism, it is critical to defend your mental and emotional well-being by learning to create clear limits. You must understand that their critiques reflect their own fears, not your reality. People that genuinely care about you will not constantly put you down. They will boost you up and provide encouragement and support. If you find yourself continuously questioning your worth in the face of particular people, it's time to reconsider your connections and distance yourself from the chronic critic, no matter how close you are. You do not have to put up with incessant negativity, especially from someone who is supposed to care for you. You have earned the right to live in peace, free of unwarranted judgment. In your latter years, you deserve the freedom to be yourself without fear of being criticized or belittled. Recognize that the chronic critic does not want to see you succeed, and they want to keep you in a position where they can continue to shape your perspective of yourself. It's time to quit letting their voice drown out yours. You deserve love, respect, and appreciation just as you are. Let go of the chronic critic and surround yourself with people who will applaud your progress, accomplishments, and journey, no matter how flawed it is. In our latter years, we realize that family should be a source of comfort, love, and strength. They have been with us through thick and thin, and they should be our most trusted allies. However, not all family members fulfill this job. Some people bring an energy that can drain the vitality out of any situation, especially those who are habitually negative. These are the negative Nancy family members who appear to have nothing but complaints, doubts, and pessimism to share, regardless of the situation. Their presence, rather than being a source of joy, serves as a continual reminder of life's difficulties. And they have a tendency to focus on what is wrong rather than what is right. Negative Nancy family members rarely have anything positive to say. When you are pleased about a new opportunity, a milestone, or a shift in your life, they are the first to minimize, ignore, or criticize it. They have an intrinsic ability to perceive the dark side of every silver lining, and it appears that no matter how much positive you bring to the table, they can counteract it with negativity. They see the world through the lenses of scarcity, fear, and cynicism, and this perspective pervades everything they say and do. Instead of praising your accomplishments or supporting your decisions, they are quick to point out what could go wrong, leaving you wondering whether your efforts are genuinely worthwhile. One of the most tiresome aspects of negative Nancy family members is their proclivity to focus entirely on issues in life. While everyone has obstacles, how we tackle those challenges is what matters. Some people tackle adversity with perseverance, courage, and hope, whilst others appear to focus on the worst-case scenario and obsess over hurdles. The negative Nancy family member is the one who constantly dwells on problems without providing any solutions or encouragement. They'll tell you what could go wrong, how terrible things will be, without ever mentioning the possibility of success or improvement. Their statements can easily sow seeds of doubt in your mind, making you question the same actions that should be enabling you to live your greatest life. Their pessimism frequently becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. By continuously anticipating loss, disappointment, and hardship, they bring that negativity into their own life and occasionally into yours. The more time you spend with them, the more likely it is that you will begin to acquire their perspective. Even if you're normally an optimistic person, their bad energy has a way of infiltrating the atmosphere and drawing everyone around them into their pessimistic vision of the world. Even when things are going well, they are quick to remind you of the worst-case scenarios, gently altering your perspective. Over time, their continual negativity can create an atmosphere of tension and uncertainty, leaving you wondering if things will ever better or if it is even worth trying anymore. Another harmful trait of negative Nancy family members is their tendency to downplay your own feelings and experiences when you discuss an issue, concern, or emotion with them. Rather than showing understanding or empathy, they frequently dismiss your feelings. They may respond by saying that it isn't that bad or that other people have it worse, making you feel as if your issues aren't legitimate. Instead of creating a safe space in which you can feel heard and understood, they impose their own perspective on you, making you question the validity of your feelings. Their dismissive approach can make you feel alienated, as if you can't express yourself honestly without being judged or minimized. The negative Nancy family member is particularly tough to cope with, since they are often unaware of the impact their negativity has on others. They may assume they are being sensible or reasonable, but they are actually depleting the emotional vitality of everyone around them. Their inability to see beyond the negativity they exude means they do not accept responsibility for the toxic environment they create. They are quick to point out what is wrong with the world or other people, but they fail to recognize how their attitude impacts the well-being of others who care about them. In other circumstances, negative Nancy family members may use their negativity to exert control by portraying a sense of hopelessness or despair. They may mislead others into feeling bad for being positive or successful. They may quietly make you feel as if you need to dim your lights to avoid making them uncomfortable. If you're doing well in life, their jealousy and animosity may manifest as a passive, hostile remarks or attempts to undermine your achievement. Instead of encouraging you, they want to draw you back into the pit of pessimism where they feel most at ease. One of the most detrimental effects of having negative Nancy family members in your life is the toll it takes on your mental and emotional well-being. When you are repeatedly exposed to their negative views and comments, it can begin to influence your own perspective. You may begin to feel as if you're walking on eggshells around them, unable to show your pleasure or joy for fear of being judged. Over time, this might cause feelings of guilt, dissatisfaction, and even resentment. You may begin to avoid spending time with them completely, causing distance in your relationships and leaving you feeling alienated in your older years. Recognizing the value of boundaries is critical for maintaining your tranquility and mental well-being. Negative Nancy family members are draining, and while it might be difficult to detach yourself from relatives, especially if they have been a part of your life for a long time, you must prioritize your mental health. Setting boundaries with these people may entail limiting your time spent with them, refusing to engage in unpleasant talks, or even breaking ties entirely if their negativity becomes too much to stomach. You have earned the right to a life full of happiness, positivism, and calm. And it includes avoiding folks who insist on draining your energy with their incessant pessimism. Your time in this world is limited, and in your older years, you should prioritize your happiness, relationships, and personal development. Negative Nancy family members will only prevent you from achieving this. Recognize that their hostility does not reflect who you are or your worth. Their troubles are their own, and it is not your obligation to bear their burdens or absorb their pessimism. Instead, let go of their hold on your energies and focus on developing relationships that empower, uplift, and encourage you as you continue to live your best life. Some people thrive on disorder. They appear to have an amazing ability to instigate drama wherever they go, resulting in friction, stress, and unnecessary issues. These are the drama creators, those who are constantly in the midst of conflict, whether it be emotional, relational, or societal. It's as if they require turmoil to feel alive, significant, or in control of their surroundings. Life does not revolve on peaceful resolutions or healthy relationships, according to the showmakers. It is about establishing and maintaining an ongoing condition of emotional disturbance. The drama producers have a remarkable ability to transform even the most commonplace circumstances into high-stakes disasters, whether it's a tiny misunderstanding, discomfort, or argument. They manage to make it much bigger than it needs to be. They thrive on being the focal point of any story, frequently exaggerating their own role in circumstances to portray themselves as the victim, hero, or one who has been wronged. They are never satisfied with calmness. There must always be some kind of emotional upheaval, and they know how to stir the pot to make it happen. One of the most telling qualities of the drama producer is their insatiable desire for attention. It's as if the mere thought of peace, quiet, and stability makes them uneasy. Instead of handling issues with discretion, grace, and maturity. They exacerbate them frequently for no other purpose than to maintain their status in the public eye. This could include generating rumors or getting into pointless debates over exaggerating a problem. They feed on the energy of people's reactions, relishing the attention and control they can exercise over the emotional environment. For drama creators, it is less about resolving difficulties and more about keeping the drama cycle going, which gives them a sense of purpose. These people are extremely adept at influencing the emotions of those around them. They understand just how to elicit a reaction, make you feel guilty or defensive, and get you to pick sides in their chaotic story. What individuals really want is to feel validated in their emotions, even if they are founded on erroneous ideas or exaggerated views. They will alter the facts, omit information, and present themselves in the best possible light. If required, they will make up complete stories to get compassion, support, or validation. It's all about crafting a story in which they are the protagonist and everyone else is playing. They played a supporting role in their emotional drama. The drama producers often have a knack of including people in their struggles. They won't be satisfied unless they can get someone else to join in their emotional mess. They'll make others emotionally immersed in their drama by guilt-tripping, manipulating, or even playing the victim. They want people to feel invested in their story, frequently turning apparently neutral settings into highly emotional ones. When you try to distance yourself from the drama, they may accuse you of abandoning them or failing to be a decent friend or family member. In their opinion, if you are not involved, you are neglecting or betraying them in some way. In addition to their proclivity for confrontation, drama makers deal with emotional management. Their moods can swing dramatically and they frequently behave rashly, causing more havoc than required. They lack the emotional maturity to handle difficulties or setbacks in a calm, reasoned manner. Instead, they react with strong emotions such as anger, irritation, grief, or panic. Every setback is a catastrophe in their eyes, and they frequently lash out at others around them, demanding attention, sympathy, or assistance. Their emotional volatility makes for an unpredictable environment, making it difficult for others to interact with them in a healthy, balanced manner. Another distinguishing feature of the drama generator is their refusal to accept responsibility for their acts. When something goes wrong, they rarely admit it. Instead, they will divert blame, shift responsibility, or point fingers at others. They frequently alter the scenario to make it appear as if they were the victim, and it is someone else's fault that things went wrong. This inability to accept culpability perpetuates the cycle of drama, as the problem is never resolved. The drama's author is more concerned with finding someone to blame than with tackling the fundamental problem. They would prefer maintain their victimhood narrative than take the necessary actions to address the issue and move ahead. The emotional weariness that comes from working with a drama maker might become unbearable over time. Their desire for attention and frequent manipulation can sap your mental and emotional energy. You may find yourself walking on eggshells, unsure when the next catastrophe will occur, or how to avoid becoming caught in their narrative. Every interaction with them seems to have the potential for conflict. You may begin to question your involvement in their drama. Even if you haven't done anything wrong, the drama generator has a way of making you feel accountable for their feelings and behavior, which can lead to frustration, bewilderment, and even anger. Those attempting to negotiate life with these types of people must create clear limits. Dramatic creators will push those boundaries, drawing you into their tornado of conflict and mayhem. They will attempt to influence your emotions, guilt-trip you, or make you feel forced to participate in their concerns. The key to keeping the peace is to recognize their tactics and refuse to participate in their play. You must learn to take a step back, emotionally detach, and not let their machinations influence you. This may entail limiting your interactions with them, being assertive when setting boundaries, and refusing to let them influence your emotional state. The basic conclusion is that this drama is not an essential element of life. While challenges and disputes are unavoidable, the constant manufacture of chaos serves only to bolster the egos of those who live on it. If you desire peace, harmony, and a life devoid of unneeded stress, you must learn to remove yourself from drama creators. Their persistent craving for confrontation is not your duty, and you should not let it interfere with your quest for a calm, fulfilled existence. In life, not everyone will treat you with the positivity, support, and enthusiasm you deserve. Some people live on instability, manipulation, and conflict, and it is critical to identify these poisonous behaviors before they deplete your energy and well-being. Drama producers, manipulators, critics, and anyone else who brings unnecessary negativity into your life should be treated with caution. It is critical to maintain your peace, set healthy boundaries, and recognize that not everyone around you is committed to your growth or happiness. Avoiding these people, whether related or not, is not about abandoning, rather it is about self-preservation. You deserve to be around people who encourage, support, and empower you. So, as you travel through life, make a conscious decision to let go of those that cause more harm than good. Allow your vitality to be safeguarded, your spirit to be nurtured, and your peace to stay unshaken. Remember that you have complete control over who you invite into your life and the impact they have on your journey.